All right, so we're back into another Dragon Ball Super card game video. Today I'm not alone. We got something special for you. This is the first place Gen Con Bulma deck. What was it, Saturday? Saturday or Sunday?
Yeah, Saturday into Sunday. It was Saturday night, 8 p.m. one.
Oh, geez. Okay. Well, cool. How about we get right into it? This is, again, the first place Gen Con Bulma deck. It was the best of one. You guys saw my last video when I played on Thursday. This was another day for Gen Con. Just went out throughout the whole weekend, and my man over here went ahead and played Bulma and did really dang good. And why don't you? Wow, that's not the one, but we'll get right into it. I'll just edit it out. But go ahead and just introduce yourself.
All right, I'm Ernest Damien. I one that played the Bulma deck. One of my favorite leaders.
Cool. That's it. That's all you gotta say. That's all you gotta say. All right, let's get into it then. So again, why this deck? So we have Vegeks, we have Vegito, we have Gotenks, we have all these other decks, even Invoker, right? Why'd you go ahead and pick Bulma? Maybe even outside her being your favorite.
She kind of made me into the King of the Hill in Houston at one point. So
Okay.
since then, I've pretty much just ran Bulma just to see or like other things that I can do with it. I used to use the red yellow Saiyans.
Okay.
Uh, I really enjoyed that one. I did really well with it all the time. And then I went with the Invoker whenever I went to Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
I did decent on the Friday, but I didn't do very well at all at the actual TOP.
Yeah.
So like I only really used that just because I wanted to see how well I could do. I did get my invite on Friday, which now there might not be a nationals, which sucks, but it's okay.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we have one that's like no invite, or maybe one next year that rolls over. Maybe, I don't know. I guess we'll see. Yeah. But how did you come up with this deck? All right. I know. I think I was talking to you about Josh, right? Our teammate. He was talking about it. I saw something like similar ideas, and I know the Bulma group on Facebook is there too, right? I don't know if those are the things that kind of helped you come up with it.
The Bulma group that Michael made, he actually made it during my tournament.
Oh, okay.
He sent me the invite of it like during the tournament, and then I made a group chat for just people that played Bulma in the first place. I met Josh because somebody posted it and talked about it a little bit. Or no, it was me. Whenever I posted my win streak against Vegeks.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Didn't you put that in the main group?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, I had like 5 or 6 different people that messaged me for the deck list, and he was one of them. And me and him started talking, and like only a couple people actually kept talking about it. Like some people just wanted the deck list, got it, and then they didn't say anything else. But he actually sat there and talked to me about it. So at some point, I had already been talking to Michael about it for a couple of weeks because me and him kind of came up with almost the exact same deck, and I accidentally stumbled onto his deck or him playing while I was on Untap in like the middle of the night. I was just kind of just looking for matches to watch, and there was a name that looked very similar to mine, like on Untap. It's like Big E 182, and it was the person that I saw. It was like Big something else, and then 182.
Oh.
So I was like, hey, this name looks very similar to mine. So I clicked on it whenever somebody joined, and the opponent that joined was using Bulma. I was watching, and I was like, man, his deck, it's almost exactly like mine. So I messaged him. I was like, hey, man, like, where'd you get your deck list? Did you see my post or whatever? And me and him started talking on Facebook. Like we sent each other our Facebooks on there and started talking for a little bit. We sent each other our deck list, and it was like 8 or 9 cards difference. And so I thought that was kind of cool. So me and him kept talking. Then I met Josh, and so I just was like, all right, I'm just gonna make a group chat because I talked to them both about it a lot.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I'm really glad because I do want to ask about that because some people have trouble reaching out and just figuring out what to play and what decks they want to play. And I think this is a really good example of, you know, if you have something as your favorite or something you're interested in, you can kind of come up with something good nowadays, and you just kind of have to collab for it. So that's cool.
In between sets,
Yeah.
like during pretty much the whole COVID thing, I wanted to make something fun. So I thought about the Earthling Bulma deck before any set 10 stuff was even shown, like
Okay.
what was coming out or anything.
Yeah.
And I put the bandage package in there, and then I threw in the little robot combination, the
Yeah.
my peel off and shoe.
Yeah.
They combine into the 4-drop
hmm
robot. When the robot dies, it brings out all 3 of them from your drop area. So it's like you get 4 blockers for nothing.
Yeah, which
Pretty
is
much
really cool.
Yeah. And then they started showing more and more stuff for set 10 coming out, and I was like, man, I feel like this just makes the one that I've been using a little bit better. And
Kind of
then the
just went.
Unison came out, and I was like, oh, this definitely makes it a lot better.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I completely agree with that. So let's get right into it. As far as the Earthling stuff, we do have obviously the bandage package that you're talking about, which is Baba bandages, Spike, Grandpa Gohan, and as well as the even the bunny girl, basically, because it plays out the skill list too. And then we have the Yamcha stuff at the bottom, and of course the 1-drop peel off that searches out the Unison card, and as well as the Red Earthling, which is basically everything on this list too, right?
Yeah.
Which is nice. It was really, really nice.
Yeah.
So, how did the Spike stuff or the Baba and bandages stuff play out for you?
Really well. Most of the time, people were more worried about the grandpa than anything.
Mhm.
Once he came out, the people either put him in rest mode or just get rid of him somehow.
Yeah.
But usually, like when Bunny Girl kind of makes it to where no matter what, if they do get rid of the grandpa, then I'm just either gonna bring it right back or something even worse. So it makes people afraid to even get rid of it without just attacking it.
For sure.
And then to attack it, they have to combo up and commit to it.
Yeah, because if anything, if any of these get removed, then you can just go ahead and get a Grandpa Gohan from the drop. Or if it's removed itself, you're basically looping it. If you do have that Bulma, right? So that's pretty cool. Okay, cool. Is there anything that underperformed or overperformed for you from this list, from the Yamchas or the Spike and Manitou stuff?
I think it was really funny that everybody wanted to get rid of the 2-drop Yamcha. Every time I played it, that was like their target to get rid of. And
It's that draw.
most of the time, most of the time, Bunny Girl just brought it right back. But I threw it in there mostly just for that draw. Like I didn't really care about the double strike. It can help against unisons if I really need it to. But that's kind of why I put Kappas in there, which I guess we'll get to in a minute.
Okay.
But yeah, the 2-drop Yamcha, it was more for the, I guess, Invoker matchup. I learned that whenever I'm playing against Invoker, if I have to, that game really is really difficult. So I can't awaken against them. I can't really let them take me like lower than 7 life until I can actually do something. Like I just have to sit there at 7 or 8 life the entire game. So having Yamcha, just putting him on the board, most of the time they're gonna have to either waste their Death Beam during their turn for no reason, just to get rid of it, and I'm probably just gonna bring it right back. So it helps me with the extra draw since my leader can't awaken.
Right.
So I think with the two draws.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like during the Evoker matchup is probably the worst in my opinion with this deck. You can talk a little bit about that a little later, but yeah, I can see that. I can definitely see that. And we do have the stuff that you're talking about before, which is the Shenron Unison, which is just completely busted. And then the 1-drop Kaba, and of course the Nappa Super Combo. Before we get into the first two, the Nappa Super Combo seems really good just in general, but in Bulma seems really good, like even better, right? Is there a reason that you picked this one over any other super combo, or is this the definitive one for Bulma?
For me, that's the only one I ever use now. I don't really need the new Bulma super combo that plays the 1-drops. That effect is good, but I don't really keep my opponent and my life like synergized to keep at 8. So you'll probably never really get that effect off very easily. The You don't need Beerus because you don't run red blue. You don't need Whis because you don't really need to neg their board. That's what Shenron's for. So like the other dual color ones don't really need anything, and then just the basic draw one, you don't really need those either. You draw enough with the leader.
Okay, makes sense. I do agree. I think with the Bulma super combo, it's more catered towards decks that attack a lot, or at least, you know, just like you're saying, keep the life even. And
Yeah.
The Shenron Unison, obviously we kind of know what Kaba does, but Shenron Unison does have the permanent where you can attack everything in battle in active mode, including a leader, with your red cards. And then it also has the removal effect and looking at their hand. How did Shenron do? Like, is it as good as it is on paper, or no?
For me, it's great. Like with this leader, most decks don't have a way to protect their units. So once you get attacked, you pretty much either lose a marker or you have to waste a negate. But with my deck, I can block pretty much any attack.
Yeah.
If I know it's gonna go with a double strike, or if I know they're gonna actually combo up, it really just depends on what's attacking it. If they attack it with a 20k and they don't have to combo, I'm probably gonna block it. But if they're gonna attack and combo up, then I don't mind them attacking it.
Yeah, because that's neg on them for sure.
Yeah.
And for 3 energy, he does a lot. You're basically getting 4 markers immediately.
Yeah.
Plus everything that becomes a blocker that is basically getting some recursion from Nappa, from the Bulma bunny, and all the other stuff is really, really good. But
yeah.
Okay, cool. So
the other thing about Sin too is, like, a friend of mine was talking about a game that he played against a Bulma deck.
Mm-hmm.
They played Sin Shenron and he was able to get rid of it the next turn, and then he did it again when they tried to play a second one. And I pointed out that if they're gonna play it, they have to have some kind of defense. And like in my stream games, if anybody watched, anytime I played it, I already had a board of at least 2 or 3 blockers. If I don't have any blockers on the field and I have my Awaken, I'll pay the 3 Awaken and then have my 2 open for either a 17 or a Topo.
Okay.
Just so I can make sure it's safe.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense since it's obviously just gonna go if you don't.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So let's continue over to what I would say is the cards that are basically showstoppers, excluding Frieza, from Kaioken Goku and its Exploding Weakness, which we were talking about before, where Kaioken and Exploding Weakness both have their own respective effects and situations where I feel like if you want to clear a board and try to go for game, Kaioken is the one. And then if you want to defend and time the right play on their turn, especially getting that 5k for Bulma, Vegeta is the one. Mm-hmm. And then 17 is Degenerate, since you can get a lot of things like Baba and Kaba. And then Topo does his thing, and Vados pretty much restands and negates the attack to get another blocker. So yeah, all these are really good. But is there anything particular that you want to talk through?
The Kaioken and Exploiting Weakness, I know we were talking about the U7 match. Again, I didn't actually have to play that in that tournament, which was great. I guess I just kind of dodged it, but both of those 2 cards are really good against Invoker, because the Kaioken gets rid of the Vegeta for just the 2 energy, and then Exploiting Weakness can stop both their Victory Strike turn or their Rival Seeker turn.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's really good. That's really good info. If anything, I completely forgot. The 2 energy costs as far as to remove it is really good, and just in general for Rival Seeker being so popular, that makes a lot of sense too. Okay, cool. All right, so let's go into the list itself. This is all of it in its entirety. I don't think we really missed too much about it, right?
Nope. No, it doesn't look like it.
Okay, cool. All right, well, if anybody wants a list, there it is. And then let's talk about matchups. So we have starter deck Frieza. We had camera issues round 2. I bet that was a really hard matchup. And then we have Vegeks, and then 2 back-to-back Zamasu, Ginyu, and then Shurchku, which is really, really random to see search queue, but
Yeah.
really, really diverse. It's really cool. But is there anything particular in these matches that you remember that was kind of memorable? Was it any of these hard, easy? What you got to say?
Rounds 4 and 5 were pretty difficult. In round 4, I actually like me and my opponent. His camera wasn't working, just like on round 2. But we were on table 1, so the judge came in, talked to us, tried to switch us tables to see if his camera was just not working on that channel. And it still didn't work. So they allowed us to go to untap, which kind of sucked because I had to go in there and actually make my deck really fast.
Yeah.
Um, Luckily, I already have or had a list for Bulma on there that was very close to it. I just had to edit it a little bit, but I didn't expect to get to play on Untap, so I was like, I never actually built it on there. So I just had it in real life. I was like, okay, cool. I'm just gonna play it on stream and not really have to deal with that. But then we got pushed over there, and I was like, okay. So we started with 25 minutes left in the round. We got a 4-minute extension. So if we did go into overtime, but I was able to finish the game within the extra 10 minutes before we actually needed the extension. So I don't know if I got lucky, but I was able to kind of aggro him because every attack he did, I had a 17 negate and a topo negate. Like every single time he attacked, I was able to negate with one or the other.
Yeah.
And was able to just push him through almost the entire game.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that makes sense. I think Zamasu can be pretty aggro too. Just dealing with the dual attack from the leader and all the stuff that he goes into, especially a Boonie. Like, I hate a Boonie. I don't know if you know that, but I'm going to let you know right now, I hate a Boonie. But
I did not.
Yeah, but that's really cool.
I have 2 really good answers for Obuni in this deck. Exploiting Weakness is great. And not Kaioken, but the counterplay Yamcha.
Yeah.
Although he cannot actually hit the Obuni himself because the neg 15 is within the counterplay and deflect stops him from being affected by any counterplays.
Yeah.
I'm able to hit 2 tokens. And then when it gets passed back to me, my Sen Shenron negs the other token, and then it negs the Obuni, and then my leader can kill it. The starter deck Frieza tends to be a really easy matchup for me. They use the unison that to keep it alive, they have to crit a life. And so for me, being able to attack it over and over, they can't combo, so they're either going to take a critical damage or they're going to let it die. And they really need it on the field to actually get their combo going. So for me, it's just real easy. I'm going to swing at their unison the entire game. I don't even touch their leader. And then the guy that I was playing, I used the Saiyan Kaba, which is specifically in the deck to hit unisons. It was the only reason why I even added it to the deck was to hit unisons. And the guy that I played, he critted 5 life before my turn 3, trying to keep it alive. So that game ended up being really, really easy. It should have, but he never actually got to that point. My kill turn was the turn that he awakened. My friend Matt, my friend and teammate, he let me play at his house because, like I said at the beginning, I don't really have a good webcam or mic for my computer, and he does. So shout out to him for letting me play at his house. Shout out to my actual team, the Salt Boys. It's a Houston team. We have a lot of teams in Houston, but my team is the Salt Boys, so that's who. But shout out to all the teams in Houston too, though. Like, they're all really, really good players. They all really help each other out, and we're a pretty good community in Houston.